starting the day.
First thing in the morning. Dan's alarm clock rings, and he wakes up. He gets out of bed. He goes into the bathroom. After using the toilet and flushing it, he washes his hands. He brushes his teeth, shaves, and takes a shower. He dries himself off with a towel. Then he brushes his hair. He gets dressed. He makes breakfast and eats it. Then he leaves the apartment. Brushing your teeth, flossing. Jenny runs some water over her toothbrush. She squeezes toothpaste onto her toothbrush. She moves her toothbrush up and down, and back and forth. To rinse her mouth, she takes some water, swishes it back and forth in her mouth, and spits it into the sink. She rinses off her toothbrush. Then she puts it back in the toothbrush rack. She flosses her teeth by pulling out a long piece of floss, slipping it between her teeth, and moving it back and forth and up and down. Taking a shower. Dan pulls the shower curtain shut. By turning the knob, he turns the water on. He washes his hair with shampoo, and the rest of his body with soap. Then he rinses off with water. After turning the water off, he steps out of the shower. He takes a towel from the towel rack. Then he dries himself off. He wraps a towel around himself, and he dries his hair. He puts some deodorant under his arms. Getting dressed, a man. Tom puts on some underwear, a t-shirt, some socks, some pants, and a shirt. Putting on a pair of pants. Tom steps into his pants. Then he pulls them up. He fastens the waistband and zips up the fly. He slips a belt through the belt loops and buckles it. Putting on a shirt. Tom slips an arm into each sleeve. He buttons the shirt and the cuffs. He straightens his collar. He tucks his shirt into his pants. Getting dressed, a woman. Pam puts on some panties, a bra, a dress, or a blouse, or a shirt, and a skirt, or some pants, and some socks, or some nylons, or some pantyhose. Dressing for hot weather. If it's hot, Pam wears light clothes, a short-sleeved cotton shirt, and a pair of cotton shorts. She goes barefoot indoors and wears sandals outdoors.
Dressing this way keeps her cool.
Dressing for cold weather. If it's cold, Pam wears heavy clothes, a long-sleeved shirt, a wool sweater, long pants, and thick wool socks. Before going outdoors, she puts on a heavy coat and some gloves or mittens. She wraps a scarf around her neck and puts on a hat and some boots.
Dressing this way keeps her warm.
Making a bed. I put a bottom sheet on the mattress. If I have a fitted sheet, I slip it over the mattress. If I have a flat sheet, I tuck it under the mattress. Then I tuck the top sheet under the mattress at the foot of the bed. I pull the top sheet tight and spread a blanket over the bed and smooth it out. I spread a bedspread over the bed. I fluff up the pillows and lay them at the head of the bed. I pull the bedspread over the pillows and smooth it out. Making coffee. Making tea. Making coffee with an electric coffee maker. Pam scoops some ground coffee into the filter. Then she pours some water into the coffee maker. She turns the coffee maker on by pressing the switch. The water heats up and drips through the ground coffee and into the coffee pot. Making tea. Dan boils water in a tea kettle. He pours the hot water into a teapot and adds some tea leaves. As the tea leaves soak in the water becomes tea. Dan strains the tea. Then he adds sugar and milk and stirs his tea. Preparing cold cereal. Making toast. Preparing cold cereal. Pam pours some cereal from the box into her bowl. She pours in some milk and sprinkles some sugar on her cereal. Then she peels a banana, slices it, and puts the slices on her cereal. Making toast. Dan puts 2 slices of bread into the toaster. By pressing the starter, he lowers the bread into the toaster. Hot wires inside the toaster toast the bread. The toast pops up when it's done. Dan spreads some butter and jam on his toast. Frying an egg. There are 4 burners on Dan's stove. He turns on the gas, and one of the burners lights. He puts a frying pan on the burner and melts some butter in the pan. He cracks an egg into the pan and throws the shell into the garbage. The egg fries. Dan flips it over once with a spatula and then takes it out of the pan. He puts the egg on a plate. Eating breakfast. Pam and Dan sit down at the table. Pam drinks some coffee from her mug and eats some cereal. Dan drinks some tea and has an egg with bacon and toast. Sometimes he dips his toast into the yolk of his egg. As they eat, they read the paper and talk a little bit.
It says here that taxes are going up.
As usual. After eating, they wipe their lips with their napkins and leave the table. Leaving the house. Tom puts on a jacket and zips it up. He puts on his shoes and ties them. He picks up his keys and wallet and puts them in his pockets. He picks up his backpack. Then he says goodbye to Jenny.
See you later, Jen.
Bye, Tom.
He opens the door, steps outside, and shuts the door.